Look, just because we don't have a half-hour video intro with music playing over nothing, people should still be here waiting, damn it.
We're doing this completely wrong.
We apparently are. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. He's Jack. Say hi, Jack.
Hi, everybody.
Jack, how you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm all right. How are you?
Oh, physically, I'm destroyed. Mentally, I'm rather happy, though.
Oh.
I'm in a good place mentally, except for the fact I haven't got any sleep, dude. That's what's making the physical part so bad. This morning, I went to bed at like 7, and after waking up literally so many times, I lost count. I got out of bed about 11. So all day, I just had that feeling like, you ever wake up way too early and just all day you have that weird, I didn't sleep enough feeling?
All the time.
Yeah, so that's happened. And after dinner, I go back to bed, and so about 5:30ish, I go back to bed, and I finally crawled back out of bed around 11. But again, I didn't really sleep. I was praying to whatever gods are out there, please, just 5 good minutes of sleep, please. Yeah, that never came. So once my sleep settles down, the body part will take care of itself better. But yesterday, Jack, I was having all kinds of internet problems. So many. The only internet I could get to work properly was the Viasat, the one I use for gaming, which I can't exactly use for this show because, I mean, I have a very limited bandwidth I'm allowed to use each month. So I'm already in a bad mood. And the Starlink is the one that really pissed me off because it's just dead, Jack. And I go onto their app because you hook up an app through your phone that connects directly to the satellite, and that way you can test it. And I'm trying everything I can, and it's not working. And there's a little button down there for support, so I click the support button, and it brings up this thing: are these things happening? Have you checked the cords? Plugged it back in and all? Yeah, I did all that stuff. Is this helpful? And there's an up or a down vote, and I downvoted, and it takes you to a little thing to send in a support ticket. Like, cool. All right, I'm going to send in a support ticket on this. And so I fill out the little ticket and I hit send, and it tells me, you don't have internet right now because you're hooked up to a satellite that's not working. So you're going to have to hook up to something different to send this. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. So I turn off the Wi-Fi so it's just on my carrier service. And the screen goes blank and disappears.
Whoops.
And so I go back to the Starlink thing, and you cannot get back to that form.
Oh.
You can only get on that form if you're on their app hooked into the satellite. I'm like, oh, you got to be fucking kidding me. So I unplugged it for the night, got my little bit of sleep that I could, plugged it back in, still not working, rechecked all the cords, made sure everything was seated, there's no damage to the cords. And this time I went online. And I got to give Elon and company out there at Starlink a lot of credit, because here's what happened, guys. We'll get to the birthday in just a second. So I go onto the internet and I find there where you can fill out the, hey, yeah, my shit's broken, right? Expecting, since I'm doing it online, that it's going to take a week or more before I get an answer. Fill out the little box, tell them everything I've tried, and click send. And then immediately I get an email. About a minute later, I get an email. And it says, I'm just going to paraphrase here, guys. It says, yeah, that sounds like our shit is broken. We're going to send you new shit free of charge. And you can keep the old shit, just throw it away, do whatever you want with it.
Wow.
I'm like, wow. Yeah, so they're sending me a new router and new cabling to redo all the cable. Free of charge. Like that. I like, damn. I wasn't expecting it. It put me in a good mood all day.
Yeah, I bet.
Eagle says it must be a known problem. I mean, if you look up problems with Viasat, or not, sorry, I keep saying Viasat, with Starlink, this is one of their known problems, is that the thing can die. I mean, routers die from time to time.
Yeah.
I think a lot more had to do with the fact that I'd literally gone through all of their steps, and I made sure I put in my little thing that I went through all of your steps. But what impressed me most about it, Jack, is a lot of these places, even if their equipment dies, known issue or not, what they'll say is, yeah, we'll send you a new one, but you got to send us that other one back.
Yeah, of course.
Now, and these guys are like, fuck it, set it on fire. We don't care. Golf City DCC, it's your birthday. This is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
To you.
Happy birthday to you.
Birthday
Ha-
to you.
Happy birthday, dear
DCC. Golf
DCC.
City DCC 182.
Happy birthday
Happy
to
birthday
you.
to you.
Happy birthday. Hope you have a good one. Really, really do. So yeah, I had that experience, and I had to talk to my doctor. I have an appointment set up for next week now, so that's all taken care of. I had a unproductively productive day.
Oh. I have developed a bout of coughing randomly in the last 20 minutes, so I apologize for that.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah.
I hope it passes.
I do too, because it's just started.
DCC says, been a long time listener, just usually lurking. Well, say hi once in a while. We got the best chat in the world, as you know, if you've been paying attention. I think birthdays should be made biannual. I wouldn't. Wait, is biannual every 2 years, or is that twice a year?
Biannual, that's every other year, isn't it?
I think so. Now, I'm not good with that.
Drive till you're 32.
It needs to be twice a year. So I get German chocolate cake twice a year. Remember, I'm not diabetic on my birthday. It's one of those special occasions.
Well, stop celebrating your birthday, start celebrating your unbirthday, and then you can have it 364 days.
Yeah, that's just too much. Too much of a good thing. That is a real, you don't want to ruin something like, it's why I don't eat German chocolate cake any other time of the year, honestly. I look forward to it for 364 days.
Oh, it's twice a year. Biannual is twice a year. Semi-annual be every other year. I don't fucking know. Don't try to confuse me at 2 a.m. with your fancy linguistics.
Yeah, I screw English. I saw somebody the other day. It was a new reaction channel I found, and the guy's he's actually just become a U.S. citizen. And his wife is trying to explain the word hauntingly to him in the context of lyrics being haunting, but not actually scary. And he looks at the camera and he goes, see, this is why English sucks. These words have too many meanings. And I had to agree with him. Poor bastard.
Well, it's hilarious.
It is. It is. I do feel bad for foreigners who have to try to pick up our language. It's not easy. And we change it all the fucking time.
Yeah. Oh, man. I feel bad when they try and figure out slang.
Oh, God, yeah.
Like, that's really cool. What does temperature have to do with this?
Or when they decided to make bad good, that had to be really hard for non-native speakers.
Well, now you've got like that slaps.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Who's getting hit? Who's being assaulted?
Yeah. I do not wish to be hit.
Oh, yeah. It's awesome, though. I've never tried to learn a foreign language other than Spanish. I, did my 3 years in my Spanish language courses. Picked up a bit of it, but I was never like wanting to be fluent in it. But from what we're told by people who have learned other languages, English is like the bitch of bitches. So
yeah, it's the hardest language to learn, supposedly.
If you guys know English, pat yourselves on the back right now. You're smarter than all those damn foreigners. Is that wrong?
No.
All right.
Fair.
All right, Jack, we got some stuff to talk about. Well, let's start with Mitch McConnell, because this is the story we don't really have a story for.
Not yet, but we will.
Mitch McConnell was at a gathering last night, just a few hours ago, really. And now he's in the hospital. Now you say, what happened? Well, he fell. If you're waiting for more, I don't have it. That's all they've told us.
Yep, that's the story, and we're sticking to it.
He is a 40-year-old, he's an 81-year-old man, and he's been hospitalized for a fall at a dinner. That's as good as we have.
Yeah.
So
I'm guessing that he landed on his blorp sack.
You know, as old as he is, he might have broke a hip.
Yeah, it's possible. Wouldn't surprise me if Hillary or Zelensky had something to do with this, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, somebody mentioned on Twitter he didn't just fall on his back. I mean, that he's got the shell. He'd have been fine.
Yeah, he might have been turtling for a while and wore himself out. I don't know.
That could be. Yeah, maybe he strained his neck doing the turtle.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking old, so I don't know.
Dangerous says going to go with drunk. I think his wife pushed him. He was probably staring at some hot young thing, and you know how wives are.
Yeah, murdery.
She might have even, just playfully pushed him, and suddenly she killed her old man.
And then collected all the insurance money. Makes sense.
That dude, he's 81 years old. Any fall could be fatal. He's not like me. I mean, his bones are brittle. Mine still have some, structure to them. Have you seen that man try to walk?
Yeah. Oh,
you know what they should have in the Senate, honestly? They should have races, and we should do this with all of our government, and have it in age brackets, like 30 to 40, 40 to 50. I would do nothing but watch the 80+ bracket all day long. See Biden in a foot race against Mitch McConnell.
It would be more of a shuffle off, wouldn't it?
It would be great. And there's a good chance an old man's going to fall and hurt himself. Don't feel bad. They're screwing us constantly.
That's true. Like the Elder Olympics kind of thing.
Yeah. It's not that I want to see old people get hurt. It's just specific old people who are stealing from me constantly and giving my money to terrorists over there in Ukraine. I mean, democracy lovers in Ukraine.
You mean the Nazis?
Yeah, those ones.
Yeah. Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. Semi means half and bi means 2. So semi-annual would be every half year and biannual would be every 2 years. It's
That's
simple.
what I thought.
Prefixes have meanings, so use them correctly. You're not my boss. If literally can mean figurative, all bets are off. My English degree is completely worthless.
If semi means half and bi means 2, yeah. Does that mean semi-sexuals only take like half a wiener?
Just the tip.
Sheldon, thank you. A spider farted and it blew him away.
But anyway, thank you, Evolved. Appreciate it, man.
I thought biannually meant every other year.
I think that's one that could go either way because you could mean bi as a twice a year or once every other year.
See,
that seems like a tricky one.
I hear you, but I think people use it wrong is why it's thought that way. Because I remember being corrected on this in my younger years. But with my memory, it's like, did that really happen? Anyhow.
Yeah, I don't know. It's way too early in the morning or too late in the day. I'm not sure which at this point. So I'm not going to figure this one out because I'm literally half awake.
Yeah, Stevie says it's common in common usage. It can go either way. And yeah, that's what I think. The proper is biannually is every 2 years.
Yeah, common that would usage be the proper way. But in common vernacular, it could be used either way because people are fucking idiots.
Welcome to English, my non-native speakers.
Thank you for getting the joke, Bubba.
Anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, the leader of the Republicans is down in the Senate, at least. Does anybody really care about Mitch McConnell?
No. Senator Downs is Fetterman.
No, is down, not has Downs. Yeah, different kind of down. Jack, it amused me. Nuts put up a meme tonight of a woman needing peed on because of a jellyfish sting. And she goes, I know it's one of you two, but I don't remember exactly which one that this belongs to. And it made me laugh that you and I are such degenerates that people are like, I know it was one of those dirty fuckers. I just can't remember which one. Anyhow.
It happens.
It happens. These things happen. Should we go ahead and get through the Tucker stuff? We got quite a bit to watch on this.
I don't care.
We're on my AT&T internet, guys, so it's going to should be decent audio with a slideshow in the background. Don't worry, the stuff you're seeing is not that important. So I think we're going to start. We're going to start with old Senator Schumer.
Old Chucky.
Old Chucky. Chucky's got some shit he wants to tell us about Tucker Carlson's show the other night, the one we watched on Monday.
Of course he does.
And I'm not going to watch the whole thing. It's this part. Let me make sure my audio is all the way up. This part amused me. Basically, he's whining that Tucker Carlson, he said stuff that I don't agree with. And we all know what happened on January. We know what happened. He also gave a speech on the floor about this, by the way. He spent 6 minutes of your time, guys, paid for with your tax dollars, talking about this shit in the well of the Senate, calling Tucker Carlson basically a lying shithead.
To be fair, this incompetent old hack has been leeching off our public money for, 20, 30 years now?
Circus Zero says, since you missed it, happy belated birthday to me. No. We don't miss things like that, sir. Cirque is one of those folks, and there's several of you, but Cirque is one of those folks who's been here a long-ass time.
Indeed.
Seriously, Cirque's been around so long, I don't remember Cirque not being around.
Circus Zero was the first person to donate to me on Streamlabs.
Circus Zero, we are sorry we missed it. This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Circus Zero. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sir. I really do hope you had a great one.
Indeed.
Oh, man. Hang on a sec. Can you talk for just a second?
Yeah. So, audience, are you staying sexy out there? Because I think you should be out there being sexy, doing sexy people stuff. I did laundry today. It was not sexy. A crazy homeless guy came in and tried to be friends with me and ruined my dryer footage. It was really fucking irritating. So that was part of what I did. And then I went and paid some bills for my folks. It was exciting. That's the life I lead. So Chuck wants to violate the First Amendment, to protect the Constitution. No, he wants to tell Tucker to shut up and stop showing people the truth so that he can protect his narrative. I can't not be sexy. That's true, Frosted. Frosted, if you haven't watched the new Perry Mason show on HBO, the first episode has a guy that does a really good Groucho Marx, and then they beat up Perry Mason.
I'm so sorry about that, man. My fucking ribs just decided that was the moment they were like, hi, we still exist.
Yeah, well, they have a habit of that.
So, we're not going to watch the part that was just talked about because Chuck Schumer does come dangerously close to violating the First Amendment here. Basically, there's a whole bunch of people, including Chucky here, who are like, Fox News should not allow this stuff to happen. You are a senator, and you're saying that somebody should be silenced in the media. And has anybody come out and shown that what Tucker showed was incorrect?
No, it just violates the narrative.
Can you sing to my sister? Call her Nala's mom. Nala? I'm assuming a birthday, right? Or do you just want me to sing to her? Because I can just sing. I do that too.
Yeah, it's going to be something sad, though, like the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Dude, I've been listening to that again recently because it was Shannon. Oh, God, I forget what her full handle is on Twitter. She used to do YouTube videos. She's in a wheelchair, big boobs. You know what I'm talking about?
Not offhand.
I think she goes by Spooky Shannon now. She posted, what's the name of it? Does anybody know where God's love go when the minutes turn into hours? Which is one of the most haunting going back to that song or that phrasing, haunting lyrics ever written, if you know what happened with the Edmund Fitzgerald. And every time I hear that line, it just my whole fucking body just goes, wow. The Edmund Fitzgerald is a cargo ship, I guess is the right word, that used to run the Great Lakes and sank back in 75, if I remember correctly. And nobody's exactly sure why. It was sailing Lake Superior, and a storm was supposed to pass underneath it, and instead slammed right into the fucker with hurricane strength winds.
Yeah, it gets weird storms on Superior, especially over by the Great Lakes Triangle.
Yeah, normally you stop sailing in November, and I think it was their last run of the season, and yeah, the fucker just went down.
Yeah, everybody died on there, didn't they?
29 men.
Wow.
Yep. Anyhow, do you want me to go ahead and use the proper name there, Pirates, or do you want me to use the one that you said before? Because I can do it either way.
Said Nala's mommy.
Yeah, but he then went and said her real name, and I don't want to. Yeah, so. But, okay, Erica, this one is for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
to you.
To you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Erica. Happy birthday to you. Erica, I hope you have a happy birthday, and I'm really sorry that this shitbag is on the screen when I sang your happy birthday song. That just feels wrong. I should have taken it down first. I'm sorry, Erica, but happy birthday. But yeah, guys, if you don't know the story of the Edmund Fitzgerald, at least go listen to the song. Who's the guy who sang that?
Wasn't that Gordon Lightfoot?
Was it Gordon Lightfoot? Some Canadian.
Sure.
Yeah. Really good song. And look up the story. It was really, really fucked up. All right. So Chucky Schumer here. He's going to tell us. He's going to say something really stupid is why I actually picked this part of it. We're not going to listen to the part where he's like, you guys should not let him be on the air. But you ready?
No, go ahead.
So yes, this morning I am furious. Millions of Americans are furious. I was here on January 6th. Many of you saw the footage as I ran for my life, coming within a few feet of these criminals on that day.
He almost saw some people that day, Jack.
Yeah, I'm trying to picture him running, and you shuffled for your life, old man. Don't give me that shit.
Many of you saw the footage of me coming within minutes. Okay, 1, you being there means nothing to me. They took all of you people and hid you away where you couldn't see anything.
Yeah. It's not like they ran in guns blazing. It was a bunch of unauthorized tourists.
Did he say ran from his life? Probably.
Yeah, he's kind of dumb, so.
My staff was here. Mr. You were here. I don't think I've ever seen a primetime cable news anchor manipulate his viewers the way Carlson did last night.
What?
Yeah, by showing the truth, that's so manipulative. That son of a bitch.
Do we even have to bring up all the examples again?
Probably not, but this idiot is lying through his fucking teeth.
Faithless, you're right. They ridiculed Holly for running.
Yeah.
Tucker showed that in the show from Monday.
Real quick. Thank you, Keldrick. I'm pretty sure Chuck Schumer is a violation of the 8th Amendment, what with being a living, cruel, and unusual punishment. That's true. He is a punishment on all of us. Also,
go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you, Frosted. They say the last words of the captain of the Edmund Fitzgerald were, I don't give a damn about some storm. That cripple needs his new router. Nobody knows what he meant.
He was coming to help me out. Damn it. Now it's going to take forever.
It's at the bottom of Superior.
No, JMK pointed out Dan Rather. Didn't he? But you see, here's the thing. Didn't he say cable news host? Or did he say news host?
I wasn't paying that close of attention because when Schumer talks, all I hear is
Hang on.
I worry about my dog being kidnapped by a green lady.
My staff was here. Mr. You were
Let's see
here.
what he said.
I don't think I've ever seen a primetime cable news anchor manipulate.
Yeah, see, Dan Rather's an excellent example, but he couched it very well. Primetime cable news anchor.
Oh,
Which,
you
by
mean
the
like
way,
Rachel Maddow?
He's not a news anchor. He's a pundit.
Yeah, there's no attempt to deceive the public by showing a video from a pundit.
But look, this motherfucker, even in this, he had to couch the shit out of it. What about Anderson Cooper? And we'll see this. We saw it the other night. We'll talk about it again in a little bit. But Anderson Cooper saying that Sitnik was killed by being hit in the head with a fire extinguisher, which is an absolute lie. That's an absolute fucking lie.
No, that is the current truth. You cannot change it by inserting facts this late in the game, weirdo.
Manipulate his viewers the way Carlson did last night. I don't think I've ever seen an anchor treat the American people and American democracy with such complete disdain.
What disdain did he show for democracy?
Democracy being the communist narrative. His disdain was by showing evidence that countered the narrative.
All of these people are mad that he manipulated people. Okay, how is it that you guys showing very select footage is not manipulation? How's that? It's only when more of the footage gets shown that suddenly it's select footage. They literally showed the police walking the QAnon shaman around trying to find him a way into the Senate chamber.
Well, they had to stage the insurrection properly for proper framing.
And nobody's explained that. Nobody's been like, that's a deep fake. Those police weren't actually there.
No, they just downplay it. Look, Tucker was supposed to play more footage today, and he didn't. So they've already bullied Fox News into shutting him up. So they're just going to say that he lied, leave it at that. They're never going to explain it or justify it because it's going to get memory hold.
And Speaker McCarthy's decision to share security footage with Fox, it looked like a mistake from the very beginning.
You could have shared it with other people.
No, it goes against the narrative.
But now it looks like a catastrophic disaster.
What?
It's all the more shameful.
A catastrophic disaster. We watched most of that show, Jack, and we watched all of Tucker's coverage except for the 2 interviews. We watched it all. Did you see something catastrophic in there?
No, but it's catastrophic to their narrative.
Oh, yes.
And that is unacceptable because when the truth is released, it is now lies. Don't believe the context of your lying eyes.
All right. I'm not going to watch any more of this retard. I'm going to throw it into chat if you guys would like to watch it yourselves. Let me get it over on Rumble. Oops. And over on YouTube. My mouse is being a bitch. Stop it. No. There we go. All right. So we're going to move on from him, and we're going to move to the Attorney General of the United States, who this footage will come up again in a little bit, but I want to show you where this is from. This is Attorney General Garland announces lawsuit to block JetBlue Spirit merger. Weren't we just talking about JetBlue the other day?
Yes.
So in this, they're mostly talking about the JetBlue thing, and where I have this paused right now at 17:20 in this, he's answering a question that starts at about 16:55. I'm giving that to people if they want to, because I will share the link when we're done. But you can verify it. I'm not taking anything out of context or anything. And he was asked about Tucker Carlson showing this video last night. Well, not 2 nights ago now. I hate when we miss a show, Jack, because then my days are all fucked up.
Yeah, I know. Stupid calendars.
I guess I should say on the last show. Anyway, so here's his answer.
So I don't want to comment on any particular reports. I think all Americans saw what happened on January 6th.
No, we didn't. I think all American. And I knew I was going to pause really early because that part annoyed me as soon as he said it. Wait. We didn't all see what happened. In fact, we still haven't seen what happened. We've seen the selected parts that you and Tucker have showed us. That's it. I think we all saw it. Jack, before Tucker released it, did you see footage of the QAnon shaman being led around that building by police?
Nope.
Did you see Brian Sicknick, after he was supposedly beaten nearly to death, walking around telling other people to get the hell out of the Capitol and picking up signage and putting it away?
Nope.
But we all saw it.
We saw what they wanted us to see, and we heard their narrative. That's it.
That's it. That's all we got. So
We
let's
knew
go.
most of
I'm
it
going
was bullshit.
try not to interrupt again for at least 10 seconds.
Comment on any particular reports. I think all Americans saw what happened on January 6th, and most of us saw it as it was happening.
Wrong again. I did make it 10 seconds. Yay.
Your restraint is shocking.
I'm growing as a person.
Yeah,
So-
it's overrated.
We all saw it live. No, we didn't. Most of the stuff that was going on, the stuff that you guys even told us was bad, we did not see that night. Most of it comes from footage from cell phones and stuff that were taken. Most of it comes from body cams. That shit wasn't out there live, Jack. Did anybody have a live feed to the police body cams? Because I didn't get that link.
No, I don't think they gave that one out.
We have slowly been seeing more and more of the footage, and you guys are still hiding a shit ton of the footage under the notion, we got to be careful because we're using this in a prosecution. Well, if you're using it in a prosecution, there should be no reason you can't show it to us because you have to show it to the defendants.
Well, no, they don't, because they didn't show a lot of that footage to the defense teams.
That's true. They can Kamala the shit out of that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're right.
It was a violent attack on a fundamental tenet of American democracy, that power is peacefully transferred from one administration to another.
Jack, will you correct me if I'm wrong here, but at the end of the night, they still certified the votes and Biden was inaugurated on the 20th?
Yes.
All right, I'm just making sure. Hey, I made it another 10 seconds.
We're all impressed. No need to brag.
No need to brag. Did you just meet me? The fuck? I have an inherent need to brag.
Over 100 officers were assaulted on that day. 5 officers died.
No, they did.
Say what now? Now
2 people died.
We talked about this the other day. They've been throwing this fucking 5 number out. It was first 1 and then 3 and then 5. And one of them is Sicknick, sorry. And the other 4 are suicides. Thank you, Buddha. Good morning, Monkey from Seattle, Washington. I will be moving to Texas soon, hopefully. I hope so. Nice. For your sake.
Nice. I hope the move goes well. Moving
me too.
Sucks. But hey, you get out of Seattle, man. That's a good sign.
And hopefully you're not going to like Austin, but even if you are, you can find good people. Guys, good time to remind you we're brought to you by you. Hit the like button, the share button, and if you would, tell your friends, your family that bitch you hate. Get them here watching because, we're funny. See, I told you I have a need to brag. Nothing? Okay. Hey guys,
I was yawning. Sorry.
Oh, shit. See, this is one of the problems when you're not face-to-face.
Yeah. When dude, I've seriously been up since like yesterday, so.
Damn. If you would, please consider donating to Jack or myself. You can donate in the Rumble, in the YouTube chat, or preferably just because we get it immediately, the Steam thing at the top of your YouTube chat and in your description. I only tripped a little bit.
Yeah, so did Mitch McConnell. Look where he's at.
That's true. I'm going to end up in the hospital over that one. Here we go.
We have charged more than 1,000 people.
I do need to pause here because I was not aware of this. Last I knew it was at 700. Now, the crowd was only estimated to be 2,000 or 3,000 large.
Well, these numbers are very fungible, and this guy's a fucking piece of garbage liar, so...
They've charged a third, at least a third of these people?
Probably.
For fucking what?
Be at the wrong place. That's why we told everybody not to go. We knew this was a fucking fed up.
Yep.
With their crimes on that day, and more than 500 have already been convicted.
Some
I think
wrongfully.
it's very clear what happened on January 6th.
It's very clear what happened on January 6th. That's why we don't think you guys should see anything except for what we've showed you.
Yeah.
It's very clear. Very clear. By the way, don't pay attention to Tucker Carlson. Most of them are charged with disrupting an official proceeding. Look, even if they wanted to slap a bunch of them with trespassing tickets, I'd be all right with that.
Yeah, trespassing tickets, like the real crime that was committed here. The people that were fighting with the cops, I'm starting to think a lot of them were feds, because there was the one guy with the gun that magically disappeared off the FBI's most wanted. There was the guy with the bullhorn that was on the scaffolding that magically disappeared off the most wanted. Ray Epps, the mysterious pipe bomber that they still haven't been able to identify despite all these cameras. I'm starting to think half the people that were out there actually doing violence, breaking windows, fighting with the cops, I think they're all feds.
Frost has said, why do you need to see anything when it's so clear? That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, it's so obvious. They just said it over and over again so that you believe it.
Now, I just want to be clear about this. We are not becoming a Tucker Carlson show. When it's relevant, we'll watch some of his stuff. When it's not, then we won't.
Yeah.
But this is relevant, so let's see what Tucker was saying tonight, shall we, Jack?
Okay.
We missed the whoever uploaded this slime DIY. They cut off the first couple of seconds of this, so we're not really missing anything, but just fair warning. Get down.
People who are telling the truth are calm. They don't wave their hands around and make wild accusations. They don't need to do that. It's
okay. I need to pause right there. That's not entirely true.
Yeah, it's really fun to wave your arms around.
Dave Chappelle, that's who it was, pointed this out. And if you've ever been in the situation, it's true. He said he knew Bill Clinton was lying because if you've ever had a woman claim that you did something with her when you didn't, it is infuriating.
Yeah.
And you get very animated. Like, that bitch is lying. I ain't do that. I ain't touched that bitch. And I have been in that situation, Jack. Like, I did not touch that hoe.
I usually have the opposite problem where they're like, no, we never had sex. I'm like, yes, we did. And she's like, shut the fuck up.
No, what's I saying? Nobody's alt but mine says, I need to pause right there is going to be on Ranting Monkey's tombstone. No, I hope my tombstone says, I have a plan, you guys. If you watch the game streams, that'll make a lot more sense to you. But I say that so many times during game streams. Like, oh, wait, I got a plan.
And then it goes sideways.
No, it usually works out for me, honestly. It's true. Ask. Because people keep waiting for my plans to fail, and they just don't. So I'm a rather smart man.
My headstone's just going to have a bunch of coordinates that don't go anywhere, so people think I have treasure hidden somewhere, and it's a clue.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Put the Illuminati symbol on there somewhere.
Oh, of course.
Of course. You got to. Anyhow, but just I understand what Tucker's getting at here. But for the most part, there's a separation there depending on what kind of lie we're talking about. Tell that to Trash Can. I didn't have a plan with the trash can thing. I just got jumped. That wasn't my fault.
You got that poor horse murdered, you psycho.
I didn't know. Well, I mean, kind of, because the bad guys, they were trying to kill me, but I hadn't done anything to deserve it at that point.
At that point, they were preemptive. See, it was pre-crime unit.
Thank you, Dangerous Spaces. Tucker lied. Also, 5 officers died on January 6th. Yes.
Yeah.
Well played, sir. All right. Back to Tucker. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, not yet. Thank you, Evolved Potato. I just have to bring this up every time. They jailed a guy for over a year, denying him his cancer treatment until they were forced to release him. He never even went to court, but he was just being held while dying for no real reason. Oh, they had a reason. It was called political gamesmanship. Their entire point was intimidation of anyone else that might stand against them. That's it. They're willing to kill for that. And that's just one example.
The whole stuff with the people being held without being charged is grotesque.
Yep.
And there were not nearly enough people upset about it.
Yeah, it's un-American. We have a right to due process, and that was a bunch of horse shit.
If any of them wanted to sue on that and take it higher, I do think they would win. But the federal courts, especially there in D.C., are shit.
Yeah, they're not going to get a fair trial.
And every one of them went along with this crap.
Yep.
They still are, although we are starting to see a couple of judges go, wait a minute.
Well, it's been 2 years. How much longer can they put off the nonsense?
Thank you, Frosted Glass. What if you're telling the truth, but also trying to frighten off a bear at the same time? Then you'd have to wave your arms a lot. I don't think Tucker thought this through. That's fair.
Right? You put your hands in the air, wave them around like you just don't care. And that's how you frighten a bear.
And then the roof is on fire.
Yeah. We don't need no water. Let that motherfucker burn. Burn, motherfucker. Burn.
Mess says Guantanamo rules. With foreign combatants, I'm fine with it. With American citizens, no, we have our rights. I hear what you're saying. It is what was done there. But anyhow, and you know what? The judges in those cases were like, yeah, you can't hold them like that. Go fuck off. We treat Americans worse than we treat anybody else in America.
Yeah.
How the fuck did that happen? All right.
People who are telling the truth are calm. They don't wave their hands around and make wild accusations. They don't need to do that. It's enough to say what they know. And if honest people turn out to be wrong about something they have claimed, they'll admit it. They don't double down on false.
I wish that were true. I wish that were true. Unfortunately, I often fight with people on Twitter, and there's a whole lot of idiots who will double down on false. They just will. One of the greatest examples of that was Trump said the virus was a hoax, and you'd show them the absolute proof that no, he didn't, and then they'd be like, he still said it. Because there's a whole lot of liars out there, Tucker. You know, I wish I lived in the perfect world he just described.
Good luck with that.
It'd be a much easier place to go about life. Tia Alexander, thank you so very much over on the Streamlabs. Oh, let's see. My mom had an easy way of knowing when I'm lying. She said, I get this vindictive look in my eyes and my breathing changes when she accused me of doing something I didn't. I could never replicate it. I've told you guys before, if you want to learn how to lie, what you have to do is learn your tells. And you just have to act like you would normally act. Because if you don't, yeah, it's a tell. The moment my mom told me she knew I was lying and she actually told me how she knew I was lying, I didn't do it anymore. And she's like, see, you can never lie to me. Like, let's test that theory, Mom.
They made a mistake, and that's okay. It's not like they're claiming to be God. Liars behave differently. Liars are touchy, sometimes to the point of hysteria. They're hiding something. That's the whole point of lying. And they're worried you're going to find out what it is. Liars are fragile because over time, lying makes you weak. And
I just want to point out right here, Jack, that he is calling Schumer and even McConnell. He'll get to this part in a little bit. He's calling a whole bunch of our politicians straight up liars, which I think is fucking wonderful.
Well, it's accurate. They're politicians.
It's absolutely true. Yeah.
And afraid. It has the same effect on countries, by the way. We're living through one of those clarifying moments, which actually we're thankful for, where we're learning exactly who the liars are. On Monday, we showed you unreleased videotape from January 6th.
We what?
It proved that tape.
Hang on. If you guys want to see that, you can find it online. You could also just watch our last show where we go through it. It's about a 38-minute segment that it takes me almost 2 hours to get through, but it was worth it, I think.
Prove that 3 of the most important claims our leaders have made about that day were untrue. Their claims were lies.
And you still didn't do it quite right, Tucker. This does need resaid. Almost all of it was known. We all knew it was a lie. If you were paying attention and not just following but it was the democracy was under attack bullshit that they kept trying to force on everybody. Especially the Sicknick thing. We've known that for a month after he died. They were finally forced to give the autopsy report.
We're not shocked to discover that. We knew there was a reason that congressional leaders had been hiding the tape and that reporters in Washington.
Once again, Jack, if you ever need me to pause, I'll probably have already paused, but if I haven't, just let me know.
You were just looking for a reason to pause right there.
I really wasn't, but that would have been great if I had been.
Yeah.
Weren't demanding to see it. They were lying to us, obviously. That's why you hide things. But what was actually surprising, what we can't quite get over even now, is how they responded when they were caught lying. They didn't seem embarrassed. They didn't apologize. They weren't even curious to learn more about what actually happened on January 6th.
They already knew what happened. They already knew what happened. Tucker is giving them just a little bit too much credit here, Jack. There's no way that somebody like Schumer hasn't seen the footage of like the shaman being walked around. He's the head of the Senate, and he was the head of the Senate Democrats, the leader of the Democrats when the Republicans had control. He's been in power for a while. He knew damn good and well that the Sicknick thing had come out. And these motherfuckers keep lying. It's my one problem with Tucker's thing here is he's giving them way too much credit.
I think that came from on high, though. I don't think he had much of a choice in that one.
Well, I mean, he said on Monday that the folks at Fox had nothing to do with his report, and I'm willing to take his word at that. But even then, he was just being a little too nice to him. Tucker, these are fucking lying shitbags, and they have been for a long time. This is just one of the new ones we've caught them lying about.
Yeah.
Again, of the 3, we already knew one of them, without a doubt.
Let's see the tape. No, they don't want to see it. They exploded in rage.
Yep.
And then, as liars tend to do, they doubled down. They told the same lies they've been caught telling, but with even greater aggression this time. Shut up, it's midnight, they said as the sun rose behind them. Who acts like that? Well, sociopaths do.
He called them sociopaths. I about pissed myself when I saw that part. He's not wrong at all. Not wrong even a little bit. There are politics. These are our leaders, guys. These are our leaders telling you that the stuff you saw on Monday, don't pay any attention to that. And they keep telling, they have I don't want to say it's a new lie, but they're expanding on their original lie. You see, he's reframing it. He's saying that there was nothing bad that happened. In fact, he actually points out that there were criminal people. What do you call them? Ruffians. He said that there were people, bad actors.
Wow, ruffians. Were they accompanied by some miscreants?
Yes. And a barbarian.
Oh.
Just one.
Bunch of rubes. We dusted off all the old-timey words today? Ruffians.
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with He said ruffian. I
know. I just find it archaic.
Ruffian isn't used enough anymore. It's like rubber for condom. I love the word rubber for condom. We need more people talking about how you should wear rubber.
Yeah. Is that sold near the Jimmy hats?
Yes. All right. Anyway, but yeah, their new thing is, he tried to paint it like it was just a sightseeing tour. No, what he said is that for a lot of them, it was. And for a lot of them, it absolutely, they were taking pamphlets, for fuck's sake, Jack.
Bastards.
They were walking around
Stealing.
taking pictures of the different sites in the building.
Taking pictures, walking around. Who do they think they are? Tourists?
And in this case, the sociopaths turned out to be both Democrats and Republicans.
Yep.
The commitment to lying in Washington is far deeper and more bipartisan, even than we realize. We follow this stuff for a living.
Thank you, Keldrig. Shut up, it's midnight, they said as the sun rose behind them. Sounds like something out of a philosophical text. I kind of dig it, though. It's a neat phrase to say somebody's lying. In modern parlance, it would be peaceful protest as the building burns behind him.
Huh.
Now, you sometimes hear people say that the whole partisan system is an illusion, and that underneath the manufactured debates, the leaders on both sides are in fact secretly united in a common love of money and power.
I like money and power.
He said some people say that, and he's right, because there's not many, but I would love to see somebody argue against it. I do think, Jack, that there are certain ideological lines for some of these guys. But yeah, the uniparty, Stevie, it's getting a lot more attention these days. I don't know that I'm quite on board with the uniparty, but when you're talking about these assholes trying to keep just themselves in power, absolutely. Do I think there's a difference between Republicans and Democrats? I do. Do I think that it's big enough that voting for one or the other is going to matter all that much? Not most of the time. And one thing I can promise you is that they don't want anybody else playing their reindeer games.
True.
Why do you think Democrats and Republicans are always on ballots, that they don't have to go out there and collect signatures every time that there's an election, that they get to have their own business? These are businesses, the Republican Party and the Democratic Party. These are corporations, and they have a vote that is facilitated with your fucking tax money so that they can pick the two people who get to run. Anybody else who wants to run has to go out there and collect a whole bunch of signatures. Otherwise, it depends on which state it is, Jack, but you're only immediately back up on the ballot. I think in most states it's 5 to 10% if you got 5 to 10% in the last election. Otherwise, you got to collect like 300,000 signatures to get on the ballot.
Yeah.
Just to get on the ballot. Who do you think set up that system? These two assholes.
Oh, I thought we were going in a much different direction. And I was like, oh, don't start bringing that up, dude. We're going to get in trouble.
No, I'm being Have. I'm not. But this is all verifiable stuff. You can check it out.
Okay. As long as we're not bringing the small hat people in.
No, not that at all. No, this is the Republicans.
Dude, line.
The Republicans and the Democrats keep other parties out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Real quick, thank you, Shio. My family ridiculed my uncle for decades about the time my grandma chased down his bus yelling, "Name, you forgot your rubbers." The eraser replacement tips.
Oh, wow. I was thinking rain boots, but that works too.
Yeah, like galoshes.
Yeah.
That would be a bit embarrassing.
That's funny, actually.
And the deception required to get them. And honestly, we could never really bring ourselves to believe that. It's just too dark. But now we do believe it because we have seen it. Consider the death of police officer Brian Sicknick. Now, we still don't know exactly how Officer Sicknick died.
He had a stroke. We know that's what killed him. He said this on Monday, too. Like there might be some magic thing out there. Maybe we don't know the cause of the stroke, but we do know how he died.
You plant this side for political purposes? I'm just throwing it out there. It seems to be a thing now.
We're not certain that anyone does know. No one has explained it. But after reviewing the previously withheld video evidence, we can tell you with certainty that Officer Sicknick was not beaten to death by Trump voters at the Capitol.
Nope.
The tape shows very clearly Brian Sicknick walking through the building in apparent health after the media told us for 2 years that he had been murdered. So they were wrong about that. Okay, they got caught. Here's the interesting thing. They won't admit it. Liz Cheney's tweet is still on Twitter tonight. Officer Sicknick was killed defending our Capitol from the violent mob on January 6th. No correction. Anderson Cooper of CNN still has not apologized. Quote, Officer Brian Sicknick died after being hit in the head with a fire extinguisher during the fight.
By the way, that is shown in the Monday stream. So on Monday's show, Tucker actually showed that clip of Anderson saying it. Still has not corrected that. In fact, he was on CNN either last night or the night before talking about how wrong Tucker was here. Even in that instance, Jack, he didn't take the moment to go, you know what, I was wrong about the Brian Sicknick thing.
Oh, no, they never admit they're wrong. They just double down, triple down.
Did you see Tucker sent all the people running and considered for Prez questions if they sent Ukraine? I did not.
He told us. Those are lies. So why not just admit it and move on? But they won't.
Let me ask you this, Jack.
Okay.
I don't think that the Tucker thing is going to get the kind of coverage that it actually needs. But do you think as more and more people see the clips from Tucker and see like Anderson Cooper saying that that Sicknick died from getting hit with a fire extinguisher when that's provably false, do you think it's going to cause more people to start asking questions?
Nope. I think we have a lot of sheep that'll just be like, oh, yeah, okay, they said TV man said he lied, therefore he lied. And because that's how dumb people are these days.
In fact,
I'm going to go one further on that, especially being that he's from Fox News.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got to say it with a little bit of spit coming out like Fox News.
Yeah, they've done a very good job in the rest of the media of painting. Look, again, Fox obviously has its bias and stuff, and I'm not saying they're never wrong. But when you consider how wrong other news organizations are, it would be unfair. Russell Brand talked about this in that clip we watched the other night, where you can't just go, no, it's just Fox. Bullshit. But they've done a very good job of convincing at least half the country that Fox News is the absolute worst. You should never, ever, ever listen to anything.
Mm-hmm.
If they say the sun is up and you can see it, they're lying to you.
Yeah, it sounds right.
Yeah. So especially with it coming from Fox News, I think the kind of people that need to see this to get at least public reaction to matter, they're too propagandized for it to matter.
Yep.
Unfortunately. Who are you going to believe? Them or your lying eyes?
this week, the White House trotted out both the press secretary and Joe Biden's attorney general, the attorney general of the United States, to claim not just that Brian Sicknick was actually murdered by Republicans at the Capitol, but that other officers were murdered too.
This is why I showed the clip earlier and made sure you guys saw where the part from the attorney general came from. He was a little dishonest right here. He says they trotted out the attorney general for this. That's not what he was up there for. It was a question that he was asked. So a little disingenuous there, Tucker, but he still said it. So that's fair enough.
It's almost beyond belief. Watch this.
The rage of bipartisan lawmakers, you heard them all yesterday, you guys reported on it, who have condemned this false depiction of the unprecedented violent attack on our Constitution and the rule of law, which cost police officers their lives.
Who? What officer died?
I
I am fairly certain. If I remember correctly, the last two suicides were like 3 months after.
So the same day is what you're saying.
Yeah. In the same place where Ocasio-Cortez died 90 times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We call it the Lazarus Pit.
Yes.
They died, then pop right back up a few minutes later and fight Batman for a few hours.
It's a real problem there in DC.
It is. It's a known issue. It might also be where Ghostbusters 2 was filmed.
It probably was.
It was a violent attack on a fundamental tenet of American democracy. that power is peacefully transferred from one administration to another. Over 100 officers were assaulted on that day. 5 officers died.
5 officers died on that day.
Yeah.
Now, that's just not some guy on Twitter. That's the Attorney General of the United States.
You know, Jack, there may be, if you go through the entire country, 5 police officers who died that day.
Yeah, just not in D.C.
Just not in
during
D.C.
the time of that riot. No.
And maybe you got to go to the entire world to get 5 police officers may have died that day, but they were not in D.C. That's
Your hate
just,
facts have no place here, man.
Fuck, there may have even been a police officer who died in D.C., but they weren't around this.
Hate fact.
States. That's a man whose honesty is central to his job.
He said his honesty talking about Garland. Holy shit. Hang on. That's just funny. This man in the upper right here is a lying douchebag.
Yeah, that's underselling it.
Yeah, that's being nice about it. It's because I can't call him a cunt. We'll get in trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Can't call that cunt a cunt. It'll get us in trouble.
He is so bitter about not being a Supreme Court justice. This is all vengeance for him.
If you had a choice between IQ and integrity in an attorney general, of course you would go with integrity because it's essential. But Joe Biden's attorney general, Merrick Garland, is a liar. He just lied about something that is provably false. Who are these 5 officers who were, quote, killed that day? Notice he didn't tell you. No one ever.
Hey, have you ever noticed that when they talk about the 5 officers that died, if they get specific, the only one they mention is Sicknick?
Yeah, who still didn't die that day.
Have you guys, and don't go look it up, just can you name the other 5 officers or the other 4 officers who supposedly died?
Yes, Smith, Jones, the other Mr. Smith, Mr.
Johnson.
Jones, and Mr. Washington.
Fuck.
Yeah. Ha, suck it, monkey. You didn't think I could name them well, did you?
Tells you. No one ever shows you their autopsies. They don't want any detail. They just want the slogan. Now, they're counting Brian Sicknick. That's a lie. But who are the other 4? Well, those are 4 officers who killed themselves.
I told you all that on Monday because we've talked about this since the beginning of this, Jack.
Yep.
They were suicides. If I remember correctly, Jack, the first one was like a week after, and then there was a couple of days after that, and then we go for like 3 months, and then there's 2 more.
Look, time is not what you think it is. It's what the left says it is, which is very fungible. It's like a big sponge cake. There's little holes in it where you exist and everything else is around you. So it's like slavery just happened like a minute ago.
Oh, yeah.
And these deaths were that day.
By the way, of those 4 suicides, we've not seen a single suicide note that said I did this because of what happened on January 6th.
No, there's lots of reasons cops kill themselves. It's not that uncommon for police to eat their gun.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, they work very traumatic instances. One of these guys might have had to rescue some kid that didn't make it, and it was just enough to push him over the line. There's 1,000 reasons a cop would do that.
Stevie cracked it. It was officers Leonardo, Raphael, Donatello, and Michelangelo.
Right.
Rebel, enjoy the show. He's going back to the start.
After January 6th, in some cases.
Thank you, Keldrick. Batman would have a field day in D.C. He just loved punching criminals in the face. Now the criminals are politicians, so he might get shot, but it's worth it. He's used to that. He's fine. He'll be fine.
Look, he's not wearing hockey pads. He'll be all right.
Yeah, exactly.
Therefore, well, those are 4 officers who killed themselves after January 6th, in some cases long after January 6th. Yep. But their suicides, we know for a fact, were the result of the Republican mob.
And if I remember correctly, we do know that at least 2 of those did not leave a note.
Well, they might have, and they've been like, I have evidence leading to the arrest of Hillary Clinton.
Yeah. Will you talk for just a second?
Sure. What's up? How's it going out there? They said a dude who was killed at the Capitol months later was killed on January 6th. Yep. There were 2 of them, I think 3 months later. It's like fruitcake. Yes, exactly. That's time is a fruitcake. You can quote me on that. It's just science. I'm pretty sure Stephen Hawking would have agreed with me, which is why I'm smarter than him, because
You're still alive.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
he can't dispute anything I say, technically.
Right. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. This might happen where I have to have you. It's sinus season again. Our weather's changing. It's like 40 today, and it'll be like 20 tomorrow, and then
yeah, the yo-yo shit's fucking with my sinuses like crazy. That's why I've been muting too, coughing and blowing my nose, and
yep.
And I'm tired on top of that. So like your face is leaking, you're half awake, and you look like you just wandered out of a horror movie.
At the Capitol, it's just false, and it's not some esoteric fact. That fact is available to anyone who has internet access.
Yep.
No police officers died that day on January 6th. None.
Wait, time out.
One.
Time out. Not just none died that day. We have no proof that any of them died because of that day. Yeah. And I know what he's doing here, because we can say without a doubt none of them died that day. Sicknick dies the next day, and they still tried blaming it. That's where the whole fire extinguisher came from. And then the other ones, like I said, are suicides, where like, well, it could have been because of what they might have just cared so much about democracy that they killed themselves over it.
Well, they were so upset about AOC's multiple deaths.
Yeah. We have no evidence that any of them died because of that day. That's an important distinction.
Yeah, Devil Fruit nailed down their thinking, I think. They died that day like veterans who came home after the war. He never really came home.
Yeah.
Because he just loved democracy so much.
Look, Jack, we were told that this was worse than the Iraq War.
It was worse than 9/11, because they said this was the worst thing since the Civil War. So they just ignore 9/11. The time somebody tried to blow up the Capitol building, the Puerto Ricans shot like 5 senators.
We saw Kamala Harris get up there and say there's 3 days, or there's certain days. There was December 7th.
Oh,
there was September 11th. And then there was January 6th.
God, they're trying so hard to Woodstock this. Now, if you go talk to anybody that was live in the 60s and like a teenager, they were all at fucking Woodstock. That's the same thing they're doing here. They're trying to make it so that the story becomes the memory. They're Mandela affecting in real time.
How many people died at Pearl Harbor?
1,000, I think.
1,000 or so. Almost 3,000 died on 9/11. How many died on January 6th? Like 3?
2. The one lady that either had an OD or was trampled, and then Ashley Babbitt.
Yeah.
Oh, Pearl death was 20. Pearl Harbor was 2,403.
So 2,403. I think the other one is 2,800 and some on 9/11.
Yeah, it was more at 9/11.
And maybe 3. Yeah, those are comparable. Those are real comparable.
Oh, Monkey, a couple people probably OD'd out in the hood, so we could count like 30 people there, right? That's how that works.
At least, yeah.
Some were assaulted, that is true, and their assaults are indefensible. So how many were assaulted? Well, Garland said over 100. The Government Accountability Office says the number is 114, and we're just going to roll with that. We don't know if it's true, but we'll take it at face value, and that is bad. We are opposed to assaulting police officers in any context. We said that on January 6, 2020. Almost say it again. We're against that.
And they will tell you he doesn't say this, by the way.
Of course they will, because the people they're talking to don't watch Tucker Carlson.
But is January 6th the worst assault on the U.S. government since the Civil War? That's insane. No. It's not even close.
But we were told. We all saw it, Jack. We were told.
Yeah. We all saw them tell us that without any evidence.
March of 1954, when Puerto Rican separatists shot 5 congressmen in the Capitol building.
5 congressmen. I mean, that's almost like 5 police officers.
Right? Maybe they're conflating the two. Fucking Puerto Ricans did January 6th.
You know what I'm hearing is that it's less offensive to shoot congressmen than police. I don't know what to take from that. I'm just going to.
I don't know. Well, I mean, the police do serve a function in society.
Congress shot in the building. It's all bad, but the worst since the Civil War, you're just a flat out liar if you're saying that. More recently, this is an event we all remember, Antifa descended on Washington, D.C. to force the sitting president from office. But it was Trump, so that's cool. And while they were there, they set a historic Christian church on fire, St. John's in Los Angeles.
That doesn't matter because it was for the right reason.
Yeah. Yeah. They were righteous.
Lafayette Square. Do you remember that?
Yep. We watched that shit live. Remember, because we weren't even really paying attention to that riot, and we got news that the church had been burned, and there's footage of that church, them trying to burn it down.
Yep. Yeah, we watched them. Somebody trying to put some of that out. Remember, we watched that live.
Yeah. And frankly, I'm shocked that church didn't go up. They were able to save it. And it's the next day that Trump goes over to the church with his Bible and like, they cleared the square. You want to talk about fucking news anchors lying their fucking asses off? They used the federal government, the FBI, to go in there and clear these people. No, they didn't.
No,
they did it so he could have a photo up. No, they didn't. That's bullshit. How many of them have corrected that? Sorry.
Nothing to see here.
I don't mean to keep going off on these rants. This shit just pisses me off. I fucking hate liars. Look, everybody lies. You have your little white lies. These are people who are telling you that what you see isn't real.
Good, because it happened Labor Day weekend less than 3 years ago. And when it happened, the left-wing mayor of Washington, D.C. refused to allow her police department, the MPD, to assist Secret Service agents while they were under siege and getting beaten.
He doesn't talk about the event. Was it a couple of days earlier where they set the guard post there at the White House on fire?
Yeah.
No, she made her cops stand back and watch it happen. And they were very upset about it at the time. May have forgotten that. Here's what it looked like.
Peaceful protest.
I believe there are several fires raging now down this street, and this is what you hate to see. There are people throwing.
You hate to see it, Jack.
Yeah, well, yeah, I generally hate to see things on fire.
All right, I'm gonna be honest. I really like to watch riot footage here in the United States, but only because we get to laugh at idiots. Oh, speaking of which, we'll get to it later. How long have we been going? We don't have to watch all of. Oh, we've been going over an hour. All right, I'll throw this into chat if you guys want to watch the rest of it. It's Tucker responding to these fucking liars with more proof, more honesty, which they really fucking hate. Good morning, Nuts. How you doing, sweetheart?
Hi, Nuts.
All right, because we have other stories I really do want to get to, and I guess this is a good segue. It wasn't. Go ahead.
Oh no, please continue.
I say it wasn't meant to be a segue. But Circuit Zero, thank you. They called Trump a bumper baby for following the Secret Service orders. They did. When they all went to hide, none of them brought up the fact that they made fun of Trump for going in hiding.
Look, your hate facts have no place here. Also, it's Hannah's birthday.
Hannah, this one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hannah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Hannah. I hope you have a really good one.
Hey, Monkey, check your money hole.
Didn't I just read that one?
I don't know. I just read it.
The one from Cirque, right?
Yeah.
Did I not read it out loud?
I don't know.
No, yeah, they called Trump a bumper baby. I got it. Okay. All right.
I don't know what
So,
happened.
should we just watch the video?
Yeah, either way.
Yeah. So I guess we can just we'll talk about it. The video doesn't really show much. It's just this guy chasing down another guy. We had a interesting thing happen with our little Antifa friends. They got a guy fired.
Yeah.
The guy was working. What's the name of the store there?
It's Kroger.
Kroger. Thank you. Fred Meyer is the company, and I'm used to Myers because we have Myers here.
Yeah, it's a different company. It's the second link if you want the article on it.
I do want the article, so let's bring that up. But I don't know if you paid attention to who it was who kicked this off. I'll show you in a minute. All right, let's get this up on the screen for you guys, because that's what we do around here. People like to look at stuff, and I like to help them look at stuff. All right, here we go. Conservative journalist 25 is stabbed in the back by Portland protester who he accused of following him, and he claims he was targeted because he supports Trump. This is another one we watched. Way back when this happened, this gentleman gets stabbed at one of the Portland, there at the federal building, the federal courthouse. Somebody's following him, and he hands his camera off to somebody else, and he goes up and he puts his arm around the guy, and the guy fucking stabbed him. It's all on videotape. The guy is still in jail right now. The trial hasn't concluded yet, Jack. Hopefully he goes to jail for attempted murder. Mostly peaceful stabbing. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, this gentleman here goes by the name of something. Is it Black Rebel? I think it's Black Rebel. His name's Andrew Duncombe, and he got a job working at Kroger. He actually wasn't working at Kroger. He's working at Kroger, but not for them. They contract out their security. He worked for the contractor. All right, so we can get this one off.
So he goes by like Black Rebel. Why didn't he go? He's got a cowboy hat. Why didn't he go with Cowboy Noir?
What's the name of the sheriff in Blazing Saddles? He should have went by that.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I tossed a link to Rumble and forgot to hit enter, so he just got 2 links. So there's the archive of him getting stabbed. Well, he's working at Kroger there, and this scene happens, Jack. I am truly beyond shook right now.
Oh God!
Proud Boy and far right unite the right. Andrew Duncombe, Black Rebel, is working security this moment at Fred Meyer Providence Park. As soon as I saw him, my heart dropped, and my PTSD, all within seconds, reminded me of every threat. So
internet PTSD.
Internet PT. Well, hang on, Jack. Wait till you see who this is. Now, that's going pretty fast. And it's kind of low.
Is this on a shopping cart? Or
nope.
Oh God, it's the armored division.
It's the little cripple dude.
Oh, I fucking hate that guy.
Yeah. And he's harassing this guy, and apparently after he found him, he goes to the head of the store, the manager, and it's like, hey, this guy's a bad dude. And yeah, Fred Meyer fires him.
Bad
They
move.
fired his ass over a little Antifa piece of shit going up there and going, he's mean. Now look, I don't know Black Rebel well enough to say whether he's a good guy or not. He was reportedly at the Unite the Right rally way back in 2017. He's been called a white supremacist. I don't know if y'all noticed, but he black.
He's got pretty high melanin content for a white supremacy charge.
A lot, yeah. He a little dark to be a white supremacist. But yeah, the guy who put this up there, his name is Two Less Legs. And as soon as I saw him, I'm like, oh, that little fucker. This guy is a piece of shit. We saw him at several rallies. He is a violent twat.
Yeah. And he plays the handicap card so he doesn't get in trouble. It's worked for him.
And we saw him, it wasn't just at the Portland riots. We saw him at the Seattle ones too.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in a lot of these things.
He shares a video. If you go to the link that I just shared, guys, and go down the thread, he shares a video of Black Rebel and another friend of his talking about how this little shithead is violent and gets away with it. And Black Rebel says, you know, at some point, somebody's going to not give a shit that you're in that wheelchair.
He's right.
At some point, somebody's not going to give a shit. And his little friend there goes, you know, if he causes shit tomorrow, and he goes, no, stop. Don't say anything off of what I just said. You see, oh, look, see, he's trying to cause violence. Even if you look at it, what his friend says is, if he starts shit, not I'm just going to go beat up a cripple, but if he starts shit. And that's his evidence that this guy needs to be fired from a job working security that has nothing to fucking do with him. I was so PTSD'd. You could have saved yourself all that trouble and not been out there rioting with a bunch of fucking shitbags. Being one yourself, though, you couldn't do that. Yeah, dude, when I saw who it was who got him fired, I'm like, you little dick.
Yeah, what a piece of garbage. But what do you expect from one of those little Antifa bastards? They'll do anything to ruin lives.
That guy, you ever see, what's the name of that movie? Almost an Angel, I think, with Crocodile Dundee.
I don't remember. That sounds right.
Crocodile Dundee and the guy who played Casey Jones in the first Turtles movie.
Yeah, Elijah Cotes.
Elijah Cotes played, thank you, I didn't know his name. Elijah Cotes plays a cripple, and he's a complete bastard to everybody because he knows he can get away with it. And so Paul Hogan's like, yeah, all right, let's fight. And they're like, but he's a cripple. All right, I'll sit in a chair. This little fucker we were just talking about is Elijah before that scene. He's just a complete cocksucker because he knows he can get away with it.
Yep.
He did get knocked over in one video, which I probably laughed at a little too hard because it was funny.
It was probably that we kept watching it that made it so bad.
He's an asshole. He deserved it.
Oh yeah, he deserves to get his ass kicked. I mean, if you're that big of a twat all the time, you deserve it.
Oh, he's such a bitch. All right. Where do I want to go from here? I have several stories I want to talk about, but that was a good segue, you know, the riots there at the 2020s and then this. Eliza Cotes. Yeah, thank you. All right. I guess let's do the doctor. Let's get him out of the way because that's a fucking shitty story. Okay, let me open it before we do. There we go. Thank you, Dark Resurrect, coming through with that feminist $12. Remember, guys, if you want us to stay on the air, $12 is how you do it. That's what the feminists tell us. Please consider a $12 donation to Jack or myself. Thank you, Dark Resurrect. If the Antifa commies had jobs, let's be honest, they live off mommy and daddy, and the right tried to get them fired. Oh, Lord, we'd never hear the end of it. It happens. That stuff happens. If you don't follow Andy No on Twitter, you should, just to keep up on this stuff. There have been people in Antifa who've gotten fired over their violent bullshit, and they're like, oh, I can't believe Andy No got me fired for that.
Yeah, they always blame Andy No.
They do.
Like that dude had anything to do with it.
I mean, in fairness, occasionally he does.
Well,
but yeah,
he exposes what they did. He didn't go rat them out.
Yeah.
They do that
He's not
just
the one
fine
who,
on their own because they're stupid.
Yeah, he didn't go out there and be like, oh, I'm going to go target this guy. He points out that they're violent. And again, these are fucking felons. Anyhow, not just, oh my God, that guy was at the thing and I didn't like it. This is a disgusting story. Ex-NBC doctor gets no jail time asking girl 9 for nudes.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring this up because he does have to go on the sex registry, and he's got like 2 years probation, and that's what they gave this guy for trying to get nudes from a 9-year-old.
That's what happens when you get rid of a lot of laws that should stay in place.
Dr. Bruce Hensel, 74, apologized to the young victim's family and even hugged her father, who is an acquaintance, as he entered his plea in an LA courtroom. He pled no contest, by the way. I'm terribly sorry for what happened. I've done everything I can to understand this isolated incident, he said when pleading no contest to 1 count of contact with a minor with intent to commit a crime. He goes on in this article to say this is the first time he's ever done something like this.
Oh, right.
This man is 74 years old. He's 74 years old and trying to convince people, and apparently did the judge, that this is the first time he's ever done something inappropriate with a child.
Pretty sure that
Jack,
judge is retarded.
Are you believing that story?
Nope.
I'm 74 years. Nah, man. I woke up. I had my Geritol, threw on some Ben Gay, and I thought, I'd really like to see a little girl naked.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen that way.
The dad should have beat the shit out of him. The dad actually forgave him. He said what he did was gross and creepy, but he forgave him and gave him a hug.
People are so forgiving. I'd be like, I will hunt you down for the last of my days.
I'm be honest with you. I would have pretended to hug him to get close, and as I was close enough, I'd have knocked the shit out of this motherfucker.
No one would blame you.
He asked a 9-year-old for nudes.
Fucking weird, man.
And he's getting off with probation, Jack.
Real quickly, thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. The father hugged him. If I hugged him, it would be to break his fucking spine to the wall with this non-human scum. I agree.
Yep.
But unfortunately, we live in a society full of pussies.
I ought to kick the shit out of him. Honest to God.
Yeah, I don't understand
Hand to
why
God,
we
as
don't
they
have
say.
the death penalty for kid diddlers. It makes no sense to me.
I would be very interested for people to go back through this guy's history and see if any of his patients have stories to tell.
Yeah. No, I think the dad said he's forgiving him, but he's really planning some like Gary Plausch move at the airport.
I don't see how you hug him. I really don't.
If it's to like whisper something awful to him, yes, but no, I don't understand it at all.
It tells us in this article that the doctor met the girl through her mother, and it sounds like she was going to be a patient or was a patient. Do you think if he'd gotten those nudes, it was going to stop at that?
No.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know as a dad how you don't beat the shit out of this motherfucker. And I know we don't be violent. Nah, that's your daughter, man. You hurt my daughter, I will do everything I can in my power to ruin your life.
There are too many people complacent and willing to forgive on things that are unforgivable. And what is going on with the people abusing kids the way they are is immoral. And it's unforgivable. The parents that don't stand up now, their children should never forgive them.
Cirque says, I would say what I do, what I would do, but you have the no felony in chat. Yeah, you can't make us an accessory.
Yeah, but that involves too much paperwork and court time.
And you never want to put that stuff down in writing. Like, I really shouldn't have said that what I would do, because if I ever am in that situation and I do that, that's foreknowledge. Yeah, don't write down your possible felonies, guys.
That's why I don't have kids. I would be freaking out all the time.
Oh, dude. It's not easy. It's not easy. That protective part, ooh. Just turning it off so that your kids can have a normal life is hard. It really is. All right. Mexico kidnapping survivor Eric Williams saw his friends killed in front of him, according to his cousin. This was a story that blew up yesterday morning. These 4 people kidnapped in Mexico. 2 of them were murdered, and 2 of them were they let go or were they rescued?
They were rescued.
Okay.
The federales arrested one guy who was guarding the chick at a clinic.
A relative of Mexico kidnapped survivor Eric James Wood. Do you think Pantsu has seen this story?
Probably not.
Hey, Ralph, be careful down there in Mexico, dude. A relative of Mexico. Go ahead.
They'll take more than his purse.
No shit. A relative of Mexico kidnapping survivor Eric James Williams confirmed he is out of surgery and talking, but said the father of one is struggling after seeing his friends killed right in front of him. Williams of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, was one of 4 Americans kidnapped during a cartel shootout in broad daylight in the border city of Matamoros on March 3rd. 4 days later, on Tuesday, Williams, 38, and Lativia Tay McGee, 35, were found in a shack in a rural area east of Matamoros and were rushed to a medical center in Brownsville, Texas. Their other 2 friends, Shaid Woodward, 33, and Zindell Brown, in his mid-20s, were found dead. Williams' mother, Sylvia, who still lives in the Lake City home where her son grew up, declined to speak to reporters. Stop going to people's parents who've been killed and asking them questions. Leave them alone for a little bit. Jesus fucking Christ. This just happened.
Yep.
You know, people are like, oh, tabloid reporters are the worst. Paparazzi are the worst. No, reporters are the worst. All of them. Thank you, James Colley. After checking my Twitter, I want to say thank you to all the women who went topless for International Women's Day. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Anyway, so this happened, and I just wanted to point it out because they are talking, Jack, about getting our military involved with the drug cartels. And I don't know the way the CIA has been doing it. I mean, fighting the drug cartels.
Yeah, not dealing. They have to shut the border down first, or it's pointless because they're just going to have a bunch of cartel members slip in here and do horrible shit to our citizens.
Well, this is what we've been trying to tell people. I mean, Mexico could be a really nice place, but until they clean up their corruption, which is largely spurred by the cartels, it's a shithole.
Yep.
And if you go down there, and it doesn't matter where you go, because even they used to say stay in the tourist spots, but even those are getting hit these days.
Oh yeah, yeah. There were gunfights, and also, I mean, these people were going down. The lady wanted a medical procedure; she wanted a tummy tuck, and 2 of her friends got killed because of it.
Faithless says, so our military versus the CIA? Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
That's racist, Monk? No, it's not. Be nice to me, Ebony. Yeah, it is a shithole down there, and they need to fix it up. And yeah, 2 Americans killed. Drug cartels. Don't worry, they'll get our fentanyl to us.
Yeah. Thanks, China.
Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you, Keldrick. Sometimes the hand of God works in mysterious ways, and sometimes it works through a pissed-off father with a gun and a righteous fury. Yeah,
True.
Gary Plausch is a national treasure.
Did he delete it finally? You fucking piece of shit. Oh, no, wait. Oh, we can see it right there. There we go. I need to put something on the screen, Jack. Boop, boop. Wait, what did I just do?
I don't know. You made beeping sounds like a computer from the 80s, and then you said whoopsie.
Is that what your computer in the 80s sounded like?
Yeah, because it was fictional, and I just sit there and go boop, 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 boop.
I feel like that's not what it should have sounded like.
Well, it wasn't real, so.
I have to show this picture. At the top, you see Gabe, and underneath right here, you see Eric July. And Eric says this, tell me you didn't pay money for this. New Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated reboot opts to tokenize April O'Neil as a fat black woman. This has resulted in fake fans spreading already debunked misinformation. DOA full video live. It's important that you guys see that this is there for the rest of the story, Jack, as Paul Harvey would say. And now for the rest of the story.
Fuck Paul Harvey.
I love Paul Harvey, man.
He was a piece of garbage, always baiting you. All right, now you know the rest of the story. Why don't you just start out with a biography? Hey, do you know this weird factoid about this guy? Here it is. No, it's got to be a big twist mystery. He was the M. Night Shyamalan of his era.
And he knew how to keep you listened, didn't you?
No, I fucking hated his voice.
You should have listened because they were good.
No, I refuse.
You know what?
M. Night Shyamalan is better. I don't need this Paul Harvey shit.
You can also read his book.
I could, but I could hit myself in the head with a hammer because it feels good when I quit. But I don't do that either.
About surprise twists. All right.
Paul
I feel like there's an International Women's Day thing going on there.
Yeah, well, look, there's this old guy rotting in hell right now, and his name was Paul Harvey.
Paul Harvey was great.
The rest of the story. All
right. So I brought that up so we can talk about Angry Joe, which coincidentally he's come up recently because I have been making fun of him for the fucked up way he does game reviews. For instance, he just came out with his Hogwarts review. This little fucker waits to make sure it's okay to like it, and then suddenly a month later he's like, yeah, by the way, it's a good game.
Well, did he go like full wokey a while
Yeah, well,
back?
he's a douchebag, yeah.
Yeah, because he seems like the kind of guy that'll beg for sex.
Now, let me see if I can find the original tweet there. Because we need to see the original tweet from that dumb little fucker too. He makes a tweet based on that, right? Where he basically says that the people who don't like, I'll paraphrase it. You guys can find it yourselves. He basically says that if you don't like that she's black, you're a racist. And other people are mad that they can't jack off to a 14-year-old, maybe it was said 12-year-old, which I've never heard April O'Neil as a teenager.
No.
She's always been a grown woman.
As far as I know, but who knows?
But in his world, it's just people wanting to jack off to the cartoon of a little girl.
Did he ever see the original movie where the chick's like 30?
I don't know. By the way, if you haven't seen the trailer for the new Ninja Turtles movie, that thing looks like ass.
It looks terrible. The art style's crap. They all sound like they're special needs, and April is a fat black woman for some reason. Like, very potato-shaped. I don't understand.
Thank you, James Colley says, read Paul Harvey's book, Jack, so you can learn the rest of the story. LOL.
No, I'm good. I might be driving later. I don't want to be under the influence of Paul Harvey.
My biggest problem, the art is junk, and yes, they've tokenized April. But my biggest problem with it is it's Seth Rogen influenced, and so it's got all of these. Everybody's a dumb little shithead.
Yep,
they're all retarded.
It's pothead humor. They're all stupid. The girl is going to be the strong, competent one. They're going to be incompetent twits.
And for some reason, Splinter has an afro.
I thought it was a mullet, but
no.
Yeah,
well, maybe it's
probably accurate.
What would an afro mullet be called? A mulfro?
Maybe. He might have a frohawk.
Maybe that's it. Joe says this, I think you need to apologize for popping off and having your fans come at me. I wasn't talking to you. You were only shown because some moron had, quote, tweeted your tweet. But you showed him. And he was complaining about the tokenizing, which you said made him a racist. He's a black man, by the way.
I don't think Joe knew that because Joe's not smart.
None of what I said even applied to you. Actually did, because you said you called people racist if they had a problem with her being turned black. It's weird you think it did. You literally had him in your tweet, man. And your tweet literally referenced what he was talking about.
Wow, Joe's not very smart.
It's your energy that needs to change. Joe is a fucking retard, man.
Your energy? What's it gonna align his chakras?
Now, in the part that was screenshotted in that tweet, I'm just going to put it on the screen. We're not going to read it, but he's whining that young Ripper, that Eric July, sent his fans to downvote his video.
So,
do you think Eric July told his fans to go do this?
No.
But this little whiny bitch, who quite clearly was talking about what Eric said, I like you, fuck you, because he wasn't smart enough to realize the black guy is the one who said you shouldn't tokenize April.
Yeah. Well, Joe's not very smart, and he's a whiny little bitch.
Yeah, that shit is funny as hell. I like watching these people have their meltdowns when they should stick to telling your game stories and that stuff, Joe, because your political shit is nonsense. The last time I paid any attention to Joe when it came to politics was when he got into an argument with Razorfist after the 2016 election. Razorfist made a video on that. If you guys have not seen it, look up Razorfist Angry Joe. It is one of the best takedowns I've ever seen. It's just funny as fuck. And at the end, he has this Mexican or somehow Hispanic guy do an impression of Angry Joe, and it's funny. It's funny as fuck. I highly recommend it. I'm lost. Which Joe is this? This is Angry Joe. He's been around the internet for a while. He does a lot of. Wasn't he part of that guy with the glasses?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, with that whole
I've seen
crew.
him in some of their like get together episodes.
And he makes a complete ass of himself over and over again anytime he tries to talk anything. And well, even when he does his reviews and shit, they're actually kind of stupid. But he does at least put more production into it than some people do, so I'll give him that. But yeah, pissed off Pedro. I just like laughing at it. People keep going at Eric July. They desperately want Eric July to be a grifter and a white supremacist. I don't know why. The left really hates him. And well, I guess we know why. He stepped off the plantation.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gets all kinds of shit, and it's nonsensical. The guy's doing well for himself. This is a black guy who's a self-made man. Why are you fucking with him? Shouldn't you be cheering that stuff?
I think you know why.
Oh, Black History Month's over. Never mind. We don't have to care about black people anymore, right, guys?
Yeah. That's
right, lefties.
That's what they tell us.
You only got to care about them for 28, sometimes 29 days a year. The rest of the time, we got to talk about women and gay people. And do cripples have our own month yet?
Yeah, it's Blorgtober. Nobody cares about cripples. What are you talking about?
We really should give cripples February. I mean, it's cut off. It just makes sense. It's a little cripple compared to the rest of the months.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and give black people a full month, you know? I'm just saying. That would be funny as shit to see happen. But speaking of that, we have International Women's Day, you guys.
Yes, it's Vagina Month, Divine. Indeed.
And my governor said this on International Women's Day 2023. I could put this on the screen, I suppose. My governor, the big wretch, the G is silent. On International Women's Day 2023, I'm celebrating trans women who have continuously led the way despite constant threats to their lives and liberty. I'm proud that we're finally in a position to expand the Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act to protect LGBTQ plus Michiganders. Let's get it done. It was quite disturbing to see how many politicians and media folks and just regular people in general we're celebrating trans women on International Women's Day.
At this point, I'd like to refer you to the first link in the side chat.
Cool. Cripples get March because they can't. Thank you, Frosty. A little irony, I suppose. Yeah, let's bring this one on the screen. If I can get it to load up. There we go. Lesbian groups are being banned from female-only spaces in a bid to include men who identify as women, report claims. You don't even need a report for this. We saw this happen with Ariel Scarcelli. Is that how you say her name?
I don't know, something like that.
Hardcore lefty, feminist, lesbian, supposed to go down to Australia to this lesbian panel, and they kicked her off because she offended a trans woman on the panel. They kicked off a female lesbian, and Scarceller, is that how you say it?
Whatever.
They kicked off a female lesbian, biological woman who is a lesbian, for a dude in a dress. It's a real thing that happened. It's her start towards being less lefty, Jack. And she's still lefty. I would say she's kind of in the camp of the Russell Brands, where they've seen it. They've seen the light. They've seen how how people are actually being treated. Thank you, Keldrig. Black people should get 3/5 of a month in honor of our nation's past. That's fucked up. Thank you, sir, for the donation. God damn it.
Well, first we have to give an entire month to the Indians, and then we'll take it away from them and give it to somebody else.
But we'll give them blankets to make up for it.
No, that's the Brits' job.
That's true. That's fair. Gay women said to be meeting in secret to stop events being invaded by men. Research featured women's testimony and survey about single-sex spaces. Lesbian groups are being banned from female-only spaces in a drive to include men who identify as women, according to a new report. Literally the title of your article. Gay women are said, you already said that too. The research by feminist campaign group Sex Matters features women's testimony as part of their UK-wide survey about single-sex spaces. Entitled Lesbians Without Liberty, How the UK Denies Freedom of Association to Women Who Love Women. The paper comes at a time of increased debate about female-only spaces. In the foreword, SNP politician Joanna Cherry warned, she's a lesbian. Do you think she still has her hymen?
No.
Her name's Cherry, though. She should.
Yeah, it should, but probably doesn't. They stick a lot of stuff up each other. And
do you think out there somewhere there's somebody who once bragged that they took Cherry's cherry?
Quite likely.
Lesbians are being forced back into the closet because we're being told we cannot meet or socialize without including men who identify as women. Well, don't come to Michigan. Maya Forstarter, director of Sex Matters, said that women have reported how book clubs, discos, and drinking nights have disappeared. She added, this is mirrored online as lesbian dating sites, including men who claim they are women. Those who try to state a preference for biological women get thrown out. I'm sorry. The article there is annoying to me, Jack, because it says, according to a report. Why do you need a report? We've seen this shit. It's all over the place.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it any less bigoted, monkey.
These women are being told they have to accept men in their women-only spaces, which I'm fine with women having. Seriously, I am, because I think there should be male-only spaces.
No, we can't have that.
And not just bathrooms. We should be able to have boys or men's clubs. Whoops. We should be able to have, the old men's club. Like, hey, you don't let women in there. And like, oh, fuck it. Let them in. I'm not coming anymore because I'm going to catch a charge kind of places. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they used to be cool. We used to have like the explorers clubs where they had atlases and dead things on the wall and talk about manly shit. And then they're like, you gotta let the girls in. And their first thought was like, all right, well, the ladies will keep up. But the first thing they do is start changing shit. No, it's not fun anymore.
We should have, if a group doesn't want other people in, it's fine. That should be fine. It's not, because that's how our shit happens. We changed the laws so that men can't have their only spaces, but I do believe that men and women should be able to have their space. This is our space. And what we need to do is knock this shit off. We really do. Which brings me to another thing, Jack.
Uh-oh.
I don't know why I follow him. He pisses me off most of the time. James Lindsay, you know who James Lindsay is, right?
Yeah, I know the name.
Occasionally he says stuff I agree with. Mostly he just makes me scratch my head, and then sometimes he just says stuff that's wrong. For instance, this. In honor of International Women's Plus Day, I love that they've been doing that.
Yeah.
Women Pluses Day, I want to talk about something important, including Matt Walsh. Many people really like Matt and his approach. I think mostly good things about it myself, but many intuit something is off and can't articulate it. It's this. Woke is a woman. When I read that, I'm like, the fuck? Anyway. The woke ideology is female. True. You can't respond to it with toxic masculine strength. That's punching a woman in the face. Matt does great, then says stuff like, you wanted this fight, so now you have it. That's not how you deal with a hysterical woman. That's for an aggressive man. Wrong. We'll deal with that in a second. Woke advances by summoning demons that barely exist so it can defeat them. When Matt and other reactionaries step into that aggressive man versus man posture, they become the left's demon and thus help them. Many people rightly intuit this. It can be sidestepped with strength, though. Let me tell you the single most important thing you must understand about woke activism, with a period between each of those words. That's not even how you do that if you're going to write it. Anyhow, woke activism, it depends entirely on this reaction, so much so that when it considers it the real action, get this into your heads now and start suspecting the manipulation. I tried to explain this principle in a short podcast. It's so important, and this can be easily avoided. No gatekeeping, just better strategy. Handle woke as a man the way you'd handle a hysterical woman, not another aggressive man, always. Wrong, 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 wrong.
So flat across the eyes?
The way that you deal with a hysterical woman. You ever seen Airplane?
Yeah, you backhand them. That'd be wrong.
You do not give into this shit because you're afraid that you're going to become the villain if you don't have to get violent. I'm not saying get violent. But what you do is you stand up to it strongly. Just, no, you're wrong. That's stupid. Shut up. Because here's what's happened. If you give in to a hysterical woman, because that's the way he's talking, no, you got to play it on their terms.
No.
A year later, you wake up going, how the fuck did I become her bitch?
Right. Plus, then, then you'd have two hysterical people, because if you're playing it at her level, she's already crazy, and you have to be crazy too.
What he's saying is you got to be kind and gentle. No, that doesn't work. It doesn't work. All it does is slowly erode any masculinity you had.
He said a little shaking helps. It's funny we're having this conversation like he's talking about Matt Walsh like he's this big aggressive looking dude, and he's really just that dude that looks like he's going to give you a lecture and it's going to be annoying.
Well, he literally is basing this on Matt Walsh saying you wanted this fight. That's how you talk to a man.
My God, no. Matt Walsh in a fight. Sir, we can calmly discuss this. He's like Ned Flanders.
Yeah.
Come on.
And that's how we got to where we were. I've told you guys so many times, we're here because of well-meaning people who don't want conflict. We need conflict, not armed, not violence, but rhetorical conflict. We absolutely need it. And all you fucking pussies who won't speak up, you're the goddamn problem.
Yeah.
People like James Lindsay, who have no problem offending the shit out of tons of people, and specifically on the right. He loves to do it to people on the right, especially if you like Jesus. But don't offend those women. That's not how you deal with them. It's exactly how you fucking deal with them. I'm not dealing with your shit right now. Stop it. Knock it off. No. And if you goddamn pussies out there have been giving in because you think that's how you deal with a hysterical woman. You want to know how you deal with this hysterical woman? Ask Sean Connery.
Oh, schmacka.
Rhetorically. I do not. No violence.
Real quick. Thank you, Evolved Potato. He has something right. Woke is a woman. That's why you can't use logic to fight it. Because women and logic do not go together. Their tiny little girl brains just can't contain it. I'm pretty sure that's science. My phrenologist agrees.
Nut says, "Oh, come on. Can we have just a little bit of violence?" Can I point out the women are the ones who are suggesting violence in the chat?
Right.
No, we don't actually need violence. We just need to stand up to it. Stop giving into it. Stop being like, "Oh, I don't want to offend." Fuck you. I'm going to offend you because you're stupid.
No, whenever somebody is like, "Well, I should get my way," you just look at them like I do to my sister sometimes, be like, "Shh, no one cares."
Yes,
it goes over great.
Here, let me give an example. YouTube. When I first get to YouTube, Jack, you know what's really big on YouTube? SJW feminist bedroom sitting shitheads. They're everywhere.
Oh yeah, the good old days.
And what happened? They got so much pushback that they all ran away and stopped their shit. You don't find that stuff here very often anymore.
No.
You cannot just let it happen. And you're not going to have a rational conversation with irrational people. What the fuck are you talking about? That annoyed the shit out of me when I read that, Jack.
That's understandable because we've been dealing with this crap for better part of 5 years now. Some people just seem to be figuring it out now that this happens. Like, no, you cannot talk to crazy people on crazy people terms. It doesn't happen. And hysterical people that are emotional basket cases, you can't sink to their level because you'll just end up capitulating to them.
Yep, absolutely. I have one final article before we get to your other two. This one's an actual article, not just me fucking around on Twitter. I love Twitter so much. U.S. Army debuts new ad as it struggles to hit recruitment goals.
Looks a lot like one of the old ads, doesn't it?
Actually, I still have problems with this ad. Actually, there's two ads. Yeah. I have problems with both of them, but they are better than the last one we saw. The last one we saw was the stupid ass. I make a good soldier because I went to pride parades with my gay moms.
God, that's so painful.
It was really bad. These ones are a little bit better, except my problem with it. If you go back and watch the old Be All You Can Be ads and then watching this new Be All You Can Be ads, these ones are so what's the word I'm looking for here? Soft.
Oh.
They're soft. There's nothing that grabs your attention like, yeah, that's what I want to do. I mean, Army, let me help you out here. Let me save you guys a whole bunch of money. Just rerun the old ads.
Yeah.
Go back to the ones that were working. And in this article, and I don't know how much we'll read of it, but they say, hey, we want to stress that it's not just war. You can learn stuff. Some of the old ones, there's a great old one where this guy's on the phone talking to his mom and dad because they're trying to figure out how to use a fucking computer, and he learned computers in the Army. It's already all there. Why are you reinventing the wheel?
Because they've forgotten the past. They don't bother to look at what was done successfully before because that's evil. That's patriarchal, colonialist, blah, 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 blah.
I think what really makes this one suck is the narration. It doesn't need to be narrated the way it is. Real quick, let me get this though. Evolved Potato, thank you. The women in chat are talking about violence. It sounds like women like a bit of violence. Maybe women just like to be dominated by a guy. A lot of them do. A lot of them do.
Some of the girls in chat are kind of naughty, so they may need a spanking. Just saying.
The Army on Wednesday launched a years-in-the-making rebrand, including 2 new recruiting commercials, as it aims to increase enlistment numbers after failing to meet its recruitment goals last year. The Army, at the end of the day, is here to fight and win the nation's wars, and we wanted to reflect that. We wanted the Army that reflect. What the fuck? We wanted to reflect the Army that does that. Fuck me. And that's the Army that I see when I go out and visit installations, whether it's here or whether it's overseas. Army Secretary Christine Wormuth. Just going to let that sit for a second. Christine. Told CNN Tuesday, these commercials were really based on the market research we've been doing about what do people think about the Army, what do they think they know, what don't they know, and how do we start telling that story through these ads? That mission couldn't come at a more important time for the Army, as the service has kicked itself into high gear, hoping to address its 2022 recruitment shortfalls, which saw the Army 15,000 recruits short of its goal. 15,000, Jack. That's a lot of motherfuckers not in the Army.
That is. Well, maybe they shouldn't have flushed all those guys out for not taking a shot.
Yeah. So hang on. I want to watch one of the ads. I really do. Do we want to watch Overcoming Obstacles? What's the other one? Or Pushing Tomorrow? I'll let you decide, Jack.
Oh, Pushing Tomorrow.
Pushing Tomorrow.
That's
all right.
when the sun will come out.
The sun will come out today and tomorrow and the day after that. Because that's how the fucking sun works. All right. This is the Army's new Pushing Tomorrow ad, which, I mean, I get what they were going for here, but it kind of falls.
Who on earth has the vision to map a new frontier? To fight infectious diseases, who does the world turn to?
Fauci.
You need to communicate with someone far away with no wires to connect you. Who's bold enough to think they can do that?
All right. You're trying to teach the kids, hey, the Army's not just about fighting. Here, look at this guy who's trying desperately to communicate to somebody else because they're under heavy fucking fire. Am I wrong? That just is like a mixed message?
Yeah, I don't know what they're exactly trying to relay here. Like, look at this ancient technology. I don't get it.
How about ushering in a network that can share everything with everyone across the globe? The answer isn't a person. It's a storied collection of restless souls who have the guts to say they can do it. If you don't want to take tomorrow as it comes, but push it forward with the force of a million giants, and if you have the will to make the world the best it can be, the Army has a place for you.
Isn't that the guy that plays Kang the Conqueror in the new Marvel movies?
I think so. I'm not positive.
Is that really the guy you want as, like, hey, I'm the guy that rewrites history to destroy everything so I can rule over it? I think I'm getting some mixed messages here. This is very confusing to me.
Ebony, thank you. Should I ask my father to make an ad for the military? He's a Marine Corps veteran and still conducts himself as such. Marine Corps and Army are different. I'd be interested to see what he came up with, though.
Yeah, he could do a better job than whatever this nonsense was.
See, him narrating over it instead of the old narration style where it's like walking through. And by the way, they do say in the article, which I will toss to you guys so you can read the rest of it, they do say they want to make sure it's inclusive. And I don't know if you picked up on the fact they made sure that they had the little girl there leading the little march that they were doing, and it ends on the little girl. There's a lot of wokeism in that.
Yeah.
Stop with the wokeism.
They can't. Not till we end up getting a bunch of people killed by this nonsense. They won't.
I kind of thought it was a parody video. It kind of looks like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They're really shitty videos. They actually are. They are 100 years better than the last thing they gave us.
Yeah, but that's not saying much. Like, I stepped in a slightly smaller turd pile than the last time.
I don't think this is going to help them with their recruitment goals. You have to do something motivational. And the music that you have in there is not all that good. I get what they're going for with the orchestra buildup into the Be All You Can Be, but this is a swing and a miss. I don't understand how this got approved. And they're like, we did it based on years of market research. I should probably fire the people who were doing the research for you, because that was shit.
Yeah, that was garbage.
That was really bad.
No, you got to get a bunch of explosions with some badass looking guys running around with guns, being narrated by Chuck Norris. That would be way more effective. Maybe a bald eagle swoops in with the army logo at the end. I don't know. Make it like more exciting and cinematic than, look, there's some guys jogging over here. Look at this typewriter. Oh boy. Ugh, lame.
I think we're still going to fall short, which is going to put them even further behind. And what they have to do is motivate people to want to come join. And I just don't see that in those ads.
I don't either.
But at least it is better than what we saw with I'm the child of lesbians. Good job, I guess. Nice achievement there. I'm glad your moms lick each other. I don't know. What is that? I grew up going to Pride. So you saw men's dicks flopping around and women getting peed on?
Apparently. That last article, let's just save that one for tomorrow, because I think that one's going to take up too much time.
All right. I had opened both of them, but I will close that one and we'll wait for tomorrow on that one. All right. That leaves us with the Texas elementary school principal. Oh my God. Wow.
Yeah.
Texas elementary school principal arrested after bringing cocaine to school, according to a report.
Who's like, who wants to get high like Pablo Escobar?
The assistant principal was arrested after an employee found the drugs in a restroom on campus. Snorting in the boys' room.
You guys saw Cocaine Bear. Time to live it out.
A Texas elementary school principal has been arrested for allegedly bringing cocaine to campus.
Like you do.
Jessica Sanchez. All right. I'm assuming that's her. How did she get the last name Sanchez?
Well, when a mommy and daddy love each other very much.
That's all. That is a white Sanchez. That's all I'm saying.
The daddy's name is Sanchez.
She's a dirty is it dirty Sanchez? Filthy Sanchez. Jessica Sanchez is charged with possession of a controlled substance in a drug-free zone. KT, well, it's a drug-free zone, so obviously there were no drugs there.
Yeah, why would there be drugs there?
That's how gun-free zones work, right?
Yeah, this is impossible.
A substance in a drug-free zone. KTRK TV first reported. She was arrested after an employee found the drugs in a restroom at Travis Elementary in Baytown, Texas. Please tell me this was not the restroom that the kids could use. We will not, under any circumstances, tolerate this type of behavior in our schools. Our campuses are a safe haven for students. You had a vice principal high on coke.
Look, she was using inferior China white. That's why they can't tolerate this behavior.
And we will not have students in unsafe environments, the Goose Creek Consolidated ISD said in a statement. Court records cited by the outlet say Sanchez has posted a 5,000 and was expected to be released. I feel like they missed a word there. Sanchez's page on Travis Elementary official website has been removed. GCC ISD referred Fox News Digital to the district's police department, which did not respond to a request for comment. Officials told KXXV the incident is being reported to the Texas Education Agency Division of Investigation. All right. These days I can't blame her too much for wanting to be high at school.
No, being rocked on cocaine is probably the last thing you want. You're all alert. No, you want something that just makes you not care.
I've seen the way that students treat teachers and stuff these days. There is no discipline in a lot of schools. They're all turning into the school Joe Clark had to go fix.
Oh, that's true.
We're going to see a whole bunch of Stand By Me and the principal, and it's going to be a bad time for schools.
I think you meant Stand and Deliver. Stand By Me is where they went and found the dead body.
Oh, not then. What's the other one? Lean on Me. Lean on Me.
Yeah.
I always get those two confused. It's not my fault. They're both songs.
That's fair. Yeah.
Lean on me when you're not strong. Don't do coke at school, y'all. It's not cool.
Leave your coke at home like grown up.
We had a bus driver who used to partake of substances while she was driving us. It's when we lived up here. I went to school in this specific area for a little bit of time, right going into 4th grade. And she ended up getting arrested. I'm not sure which substance it was, Jack, but she snorted it.
Oh.
Yeah. So we had a bus driver probably high on cocaine.
Well, I mean, to be fair, she could have been chopping up some pills.
Flair Fritz says you get those confused every single time you mention them on here, Monk. I know. It's part of show lore. At this point, if I ever got it right, people would think I was fucking with them. For the record, I do it every time I mention it in real life, too, if it makes you feel better. My 6th grade bus driver was a druggie. She ended up as my next door neighbor for 10 years. Did you ever get a hit it?
Ew.
What?
Most bus drivers are gross.
We should probably finish on this. Have you seen the video going around of Andrew Tate where he's talking about how if you have the chance to have sex with a Megan Fox looking person who has a wiener or somebody who looks like Hulk Hogan who has a vagina, which one would you bang? And the original question was, would you rather bang a transgender person who's a 10 or an actual woman, a biological female who's a 1? And he got mad because most people said they'd rather have vagina. And he tries to make the argument that it's not gay to have sex with a biological man as long as they're prettier than the woman that you would have been banging.
Yeah, I saw that, and I think that is a ludicrous example, because when is that ever going to come up in life?
Even if it did, I mean, I would take the vagina every time because, and hear me out, Andrew, I'm not gay.
Yeah, there's still one too many penises in his equation there. So you can always hope the ugly chick just wants to cuddle.
I'm going to be completely honest here. I've seen Andrew several times where I've thought, is he gay? And this just, apparently he's a gay man. I didn't know that. Or he's bisexual.
I don't know.
If your sexuality comes down to how pretty they are, and you'll suck a dick as long as they're pretty enough, you're gay.
You at least are bi.
Yeah.
I think I would have to pass on both of those, though. I mean, it's not a situation I'm going to be in where, you must choose one of these. No, I don't. I don't. I can have a nice dinner with the ugly chick, and then go our separate ways.
I don't mind the being forced into the question, because yes, I will take the really nasty, ugly chick every time, because I like vagina. I like women. I don't care if it looks like a woman. If it has a penis, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I just, as soon as you introduce another penis to the equation, I'm out. My sexual adventures include one penis, mine. It's the only one that's there, Jack.
Yeah, that's generally I haven't had it come up where there's like random extra penis involved, so I don't know.
Faithless says Lori Lightfoot. Okay, here. If I had the choice to either bang Blair White or Lori Lightfoot, I'd be like, take it, Beetlejuice, take it.
You gotta say your name 3 times real fast as you climax.
As I'm coming, yeah, like Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Hell yeah, all over her. I would make her look like a chocolate cake with icing on top. Damn Skippy. Every fucking time, because I don't like dick.
Yeah, I'm not having sex with either of those people. Sorry. No offense, Blair, but you're not my type. You got a wiener.
Look, Blair presents as a very pretty woman. And I have no problem saying that, because she does look feminine. Although, stop with the plastic surgery. You're really starting to make yourself look goofy. Thank you, Frank. I may be in trouble at my job. I told one of the bus drivers at my job that another operator was a cunt after she was being a cunt to me. He told her she went to management. Whoopsie.
No, you say he misunderstood. I said she's a cut, as in she cracks me up.
Other than maybe having to apologize for the language that you used, there's nothing wrong with not liking another person.
No, that's not how it works. Is that she's a woman?
Tell her you have Australian friends who told you that that's just a term of endearment. Fuck it. Anyhow, no, don't lie to him. Go, you met her? She's a cunt.
Just tell him you have a crush on her.
Hey, let's call her in here and see how she behaves. I bet she acts like a cunt. Anyway, with that, guys, we're going to wrap this one up. I'm going to go play a video game with my friend X Bubba Hotep, my favorite hobo on the internet. I want to thank you guys for hanging out. I love you guys. Sorry we missed yesterday. Oh, thank you, Frank. She's claiming it's racial too. How is cunt racial?
Did you drop the N-bomb? I don't understand that.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Good luck with it, dude. I really hope it works out. But yeah, fuck.
Yeah, that sounds like nonsense.
Yeah, exactly, Faithless. Tell him that only a cunt would go whine about it. Say, see, she's a cunt. Anyhow, thank you guys for coming on this journey with us every day. We really appreciate it. Sorry about yesterday. Internet problems happen. Jack did a show, though.
Yeah, it was fun. Good times.
I would have joined you, but again, even at that time, the AT&T still wasn't working. So, thank you, Evolved Potato. I don't know, Monkey. You say you don't like dick, but I have out of context clips that beg to differ. Yeah, out of context clips say fuck baby Jesus. So let's be fair. Fuck baby Jesus. That was me. Never mind. That's an oldie. We need to bring back fuck baby Jesus.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I don't even know how to go on from that.
Yeah, I don't know where you go from that point.
Thank you so much for the donations. You guys are amazing. Love you so much. We appreciate the donations. We realize that times are tough. We're in the Biden economy, and every dollar of yours that you make ours is it's not easy, and we appreciate it. Anything you want to shill, Jack?
I'll drop a link to a video I just dropped a little while back. Otherwise, yeah, thank you for all the support you give us. Thanks for coming out and watching the streams. You guys are awesome, and we really, really do appreciate it.
Be over on twitch.tv/rantingmonkey playing some Phasmophobia. We did the challenge mode last night, which was Actually easier than when we switched over to just playing normal. Normal went bad for me last night, Jack. But we'll be over there playing Phasmo. Come check it out. That's twitch.tv/rantingmonkey. I want to thank you guys for coming. Jack, a pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Everyone, have a wonderful night. Take care of yourselves. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
If I had a choice between Blair White or Lori, I would bang Lori like a dirty little whore.